right. Here we go. We've got a cool giveaway today. A Tito's swag bag with a Tito's dog bowl and sunglasses and other stuff. Here's how you enter to win on the Dancing Rabbit Golf text line, 601-885-3776. In honor of National Dog Toy Day. Biscuit. We would like to know how you're listening to the show on 105.9 The Zone or streaming. Where are you listening from? And then what kind of dog you have and what's his or her name. Do you get all that? How are you listening? Radio or streaming? Where are you listening from? And then tell us what kind of dog you have and what the name. Jackson, what's the name? What are the names of your dogs?
Oh, we got, I got a pit bull.
Okay.
His name is Spud because he's a red-nosed pit and he looks just like a potato. I got my golden retriever / yellow lab, Delta, and then you got the little guy, the mini Aussie Doodle. His name is Ozzy.
So you have 3. You can't even take care of yourself, and you got 3 dogs.
Yep. As long as they're taking care of it, everything pans out.
Is your house a wreck with them?
Not really. No, I keep it. I keep it pretty clean. I clean every day, pretty much.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, thankfully.
We are the Out of Bounds Show. We want to bring in Mike Detillier, WWL Radio, TV New Orleans. Mike D, Saints, LSU, NFL Draft. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line, powered by Sound and Communications, for your next video wall. Mike D, I got to start with what the Las Vegas Raiders and Tom Brady and others are going to do with the first pick of the NFL Draft. Fernando Mendoza. Are you sold that this guy, let's take out great, but are you sold that he can be a good NFL quarterback for a long time?
I'm sold, and I don't believe any of this. I've been doing this now 40 years. I can't believe national people are biting on this, that they're tapping the brake on Mendoza. Okay, haven't you went through this situation before? I can tell a media type to run a story to see if maybe there's a team out there that will give me a Godfather deal, a deal I can't refuse. But most likely that will not happen, and the Raiders are going to pick Mendoza. But I see some of this national stuff. It shocks me that you can fall for this year in, year out, but it gets people to watch and to click, if they post it. Again, it's going to be Mendoza to the Raiders.
Talk about, first of all, he may be a guy that can get up and running quick. And then you put Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers with him. I mean, Mike, those are some young, serious weapons, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And you want to make sure that you can protect him. That's going to be first and foremost with offensive line. I always believe that no position gets affected more with their play than at the quarterback spot. And so you look at guys that have maybe kind of failed early on in their career. It had really not a lot to do with receivers or who played at running back. It was really what they had up front to protect them, and they weren't getting protected. They get beat up. That's an Archie Manning line, I'll be honest with you. Archie, he's told me that numerous times that, it is a big part of playing quarterback that you have something up front to protect you. One, he knows from experience of himself. And secondly, he saw, that impact of being able to protect his 2 sons, in Peyton and Eli in the NFL. So I do think that is something that the Raiders have to take a long look at, making sure that Mendoza has a real sturdy offensive line in front of him. Because as you brought out, Brock Bowers is a big-time tight end, really, really good football player. And Genty has a chance to be a really good running back in this league. But again, it's about up front. And you watch the Raiders play last year, man, that was a lot of leakage coming in everywhere, from the middle, from the outside. That's something that Tom Brady and the crew, and Brady knows this as well as anybody. That's a big part of winning in this league when you're playing quarterback.
NFL insider Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joins us on the Out of Bounds show, brought to you by Sound and Communications, your next video wall for your business or school, powered by Sound and Communications. Mike D, the Saints have the 8th pick in the draft, if they stay there. You want to give us a couple of options, a couple of directions they may go? I know it's early.
If Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame's there at 8, he's not getting the 9. He would fit what you were looking for. They do not have right now a guy that you can build an offense around in the running game. Alvin Kamara was a great player for this team. I mean, just terrific. But, you see he's in the latter years of his career, and you don't really have any of the options here. So if Love is there at 8, he would be the perfect fit as a runner, as a receiver. I know a couple members on that staff at Notre Dame, and they have told me how good of a pass protector he is. And that's unusual. A lot of times guys that are heavy-duty runners, they don't have a lot of experience as pass protectors. But he really works at it. And I think he'd be a great pick. If he's gone, I think the receiver there would be Mekhi Lemon. I think that there's a kind of a 3-man race here for the number 1 spot with Cornell Lake from Ohio State, Mekhi Lemon, and Jordan Tyson. Question mark with Jordan is not about talent. It's about this series of injuries that he's had. Major knee injury at Colorado. He's had hamstring, shoulder, calf injuries at Arizona State. Normally when I see that, I've always lowered a prospect a little because it's not about his talent, but you having to make a decision. If you have the 8th pick in the draft and you have someone who's had that history of lower body injuries for the most part, are you going to take him there? I still think he ends up being a first-round pick, and he's not going to run at the combine because he's still getting over a hamstring injury that happened during the year. Okay, Bo, right there, that tells you a little something about him. Not about his talent, because he is gifted. Man, he can catch the football. He's explosive. He has got great eye-hand coordination. And, man, he can scoot after the catch. But you worry about those injuries. Cornell Tate, bigger wideout, a guy that can get up and go get it, has gotten much better as a route runner. He is really smooth into and out of his cuts and breaks. And Mekhi Lemon, not the biggest guy around, not the fastest, not the strongest. But if you watch him play, he corkscrews guys into the turf as defenders. Those moves and double moves he has, man, I don't know who he's worked with, but they have taught him well. And we saw early last year with Southern Cal, with a young quarterback, that the quarterback was a little bit hesitant. He was talented, and he's got some skills, but he was a little hesitant pulling the string on throws. And you could almost tell in body language, Lemon walking back to him and saying, "Hey, kid, trust me. Just throw me the ball. I'm going to get it. And I'll make you look good." And he did. If it was a short pass, deeper pass, his run after catch skills are very good. And he's a tough guy to bring down in the open field. He's got a way of eluding the initial tackler and then kind of scooting away from him. So if you're asking, it would, for me, if Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame's there, he would be my pick. If not, then it becomes Makai Lemon from USC. Very skilled route runner, and he runs routes today like you would see a guy in their third and fourth year in the NFL. He's that good.
Wow.
So, again, he's not a huge receiver. I don't want him running. If I had a track team, he wouldn't be running anchor on my 400-meter relay team. But, man, you put pads and a helmet on him, he is fast.
Mike Detillier, NFL insider on the Out of Bounds show. You mentioned, Fernando Mendoza, number one pick, Las Vegas Raiders. Some good pieces around him. And then you mentioned, they'll need to go get some offensive linemen after that pick to keep him healthy so he can get the ball to Brock Bowers and hand the ball to Ashton Genty. This quarterback class doesn't look like it has just a lot of sizzle in it. Do you have Ty Simpson out of Alabama going in the first round as a slam dunk?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always felt he'd be a first-round pick. After watching him play, he's accurate. His reads downfield, his decision-making process were all very, very good. Now, he didn't have the benefit of a really strong running game this year at Alabama. Shockingly, listen, I didn't think I'd say that for a long time, that Alabama couldn't run the ball well. But that has been the truth. And he bailed them out of a lot of games, really did. And he also had a receiving group. I didn't think Ryan Williams had a good year last year. I mean, but watching him as a freshman, he looked to be an elite player. He wasn't that guy last year. Jeremy Bernard, I think, is a really good player who ended up probably being a second-round pick. I really like their tight end. I think that young man can play at the NFL level. But I really like Ty. He's well-grounded. He's smart. He does not have a lot of experience as a starter, but he soaks things up so well. I got to know him at the Manning Passing Academy. He certainly wasn't the most physically gifted passer there, but he knew where to go with the football. He was smart, he was accurate, and he had good touch on his throws. I think he's very good in that short to intermediate range of the field, and he throws a nice deep ball. He really does. Now, Williams dropped, I think last year it was 5 catches that would have been 20 to 25 yards or longer on him. But I think Ty Simpson ends up being a first-round pick. There is a supply and demand in this league, and I think you'll only see 2. The big question mark is, where does the third quarterback fit in? And does Garrett Nussmeier become that guy?
Wow. He was hurt last year. And when you mean by third guy, do you mean like in the second or third round, or you talking?
Yeah. He'll be a second day pick. He won't go in round 1, but Garrett, I think, will end up being a pick that you look at in the second round. I could see maybe he tumble into the third, but there are so many teams looking for quarterbacks. I think Nussmeier ends up going in round 2. He's got a lot of the same. He's a little bit more of a riverboat gambler type thrower. He ain't afraid to throw the football anywhere out on the field. And you look at genetics, how he grew up, dad being a former player, now a coach. He understands this game at a very high level. We talked about it throughout the season, even though Brian Kelly would not say it, that he was injured. I said it on your show numerous times. Yeah. He was hurt, and he tried to fight through it and just couldn't. He didn't play at the same level. he's a tough guy, and I like the fact that he tries to push the ball a little further downfield than most quarterbacks do. He loves to throw the medium to longer range throws. That he loves. And he basically told me that. I really like that part of the game. Being able to extend the field, throwing the deeper passes. He likes that extremely well. Again, he's a guy that when we started the season last year, we're talking about him being a first day pick and probably a top 15 to 16 selection. And now you can get him in round 2, and hopefully he's healthy. And he looked that way at the Senior Bowl, where he threw the football clean. He was accurate. His mechanics are so good for a young quarterback. But again, you look at his background, see his dad, and understand that grooming process with him and a quarterback. You can understand why. So I think he'll end up going second day and most likely in round 2.
Okay. Mike Detillier, NFL insider, WWL Radio TV New Orleans. He joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance Guest Line. This is 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. As far as returning starters in the SEC at quarterback, is Trinidad Chambliss your number one guy, even over Arch, or how do you see it in the SEC this year, Mike D?
Okay, if you're talking about where they'll get selected, or you're talking about play?
No, play.
Man, Trinidad's he's a special player. I'm honest with you. I mean, what he can do with the ball and how he can maneuver around. And Arch is really, really gifted. And we saw late last year, he sort of pieced it together after a really kind of up and down start to the season. They're two totally different style quarterbacks, even though Arch can take off and run too now. He runs more like his grandpa than he does Peyton and Eli. I can tell you that. But, man, Trinidad, what he can do with the football to extend a play, you don't see a lot of guys do that. And he's a favorite of mine. I think the world of him as a player. I really do. And he's a great leader, but he understands where to go with the football downfield. I think everybody wants to see the progress now with a full season under his belt for Arch. And where does that take Texas at this point? But Trinidad Favorite's a fan, man. He's a favorite of mine. I just love to watch him play. I got to do LSU pregame on September 19th, so I might not like him as much that day, but every other day, I'm really going to like him.
Man, that's going to be epic. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? Kiffin going back to Oxford in year 1. And Trinidad Chambliss. Go ahead, Mike.
I had Deuce on last week, and he gets it like me. Everybody, hey, you think maybe you can get me 2 tickets or 4 tickets? And almost like, yeah, let me check in my satchel bag to make sure that I got all those tickets. But Deuce came on and said, Mike, I won't say it right now. Nobody asked me for tickets. I cannot get tickets for Ole Miss, LSU that day. And you understand that if LSU can beat Clemson and they roll it through undefeated, you look at Ole Miss's schedule. I think they play Louisville early. But then if both these teams get in there undefeated, game day at the Grove, okay, Kiffin return. Man, you could not write a better script, for the lead up for this game. And, man, that's going to be the talk of the nation. I've already had people talk show across the country say, hey, look, I'm going to just alert you. We want you to week LSU Ole Miss to talk about. I was like, okay, what? I mean, we are quite a few months away from that, but I think people get it. And that is going to be some kind of atmosphere and heavy security, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Heavy security that day. And, because Lane is going to play that up. And I think one of the things that makes him – I talked about this to Pete Jenkins yesterday, who's 83 years old, is still coaching defensive linemen all across the country, college and pro football. And he said, that Lane is a perfect fit for the world of college football today. That it's not worried about, what's going to happen in 2027 for the big sport. It's worried about winning today. But he was like, he does something a lot of older coaches sometimes don't do. He takes the pressure off his team. Okay, you can throw that spotlight on me, and I'm willing to take it. And I just let my players concentrate on playing the game. There's a method to that madness of what he does. And I'm sure he will do that when LSU plays Ole Miss. If you want to put all that on me, that's fine. I'm going to just get my players ready to play. He does not mind wearing the black hat, so to speak. He doesn't really, some coaches, they want to be loved by everybody. That's not the case with Coach Kiffin at all. He doesn't mind being the bad guy and taking some of that pressure that would be put on his team, be put on him. And I think Pete's absolutely right about that. I think it was a great point that, in today's world, that is part of it. Trying to take some of the pressure off the players and putting it on yourself and not always being the good guy. For Lane, that's not an issue.
Mike Detillier, WWL Radio TV New Orleans, September 19th. Circle it on your calendar. LSU at Ole Miss. Lane returns to Oxford, the place that allegedly he couldn't leave, but he did. Mike D, thank you, buddy. We'll talk next week.
Even better than that, look, the second to last game of the season LSU plays at Tennessee.
Oh, wow. That'll be fantastic. At Oxford and at Knoxville. All right, Mike D. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Bo.
That's brought to you by your next video wall at your business or school or hotel lobby, conference room. Sound and Communications. SoundcomAV.com. That's one M. SoundcomAV.com. Your next video wall is powered by Sound and Communications. SoundcomAV.com. Lunch today brought to you by Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance. I was there yesterday. It was fabulous. Cooper's Philly. Great sandwich. And I may have to go back today and get that world-famous meatball. TasteItalianKitchen.com. Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance.